A cold wind sweeps across a stone tower overgrown with ivy. Inside, the princess lies motionless, draped in silken sheets, thick with dust. A beam of sunlight pierces a crack in the wall, striking her pale face. The massive wooden door groans as it opens. Footsteps echo in the hollow chamber. A figure appears. A prince, armor dented and bloodied, a sword dangling loosely in his hand. He kneels, leans over her, and presses a gentle kiss to her lips. Nothing happens. Then, a faint tremor runs through her body. Her eyes snap open, wild, unfocused. The princess screams, not in relief, but in agony. Her hands claw at the air, shredding the sheets. The prince recoils, stunned. Something has awakened, but it is not the fairy tale salvation anyone remembers. Centuries before fairy tales turned her into a symbol of passive beauty, she was part of a kingdom lost to time. Archaeologists now call it Valoria, a forested realm carved into cliffs, a civilization known for strange rituals and cryptic tombs. Recent excavations revealed carved murals, a girl, a thorned spindle, and a crown shattered into fragments. Not a story of love, but of political sacrifice. Every detail hints at a ritual older than Valoria itself, one designed to bind life to decay. The princess's sleep was not enchantment, it was containment. And the prince, he was never meant to awaken her. The tower was a sentinel, a prison disguised as a castle. Stones etched with symbols that still baffle modern scholars lined the walls. Travelers who entered the ruins spoke of a humming sound, low and persistent, as if the stone itself remembered her torment. Reports describe sudden collapses in the structure, floors giving way, beams cracking for no apparent reason. One explorer vanished after tracing claw marks up the spiral staircase. Only a pair of worn slippers remained. The curse was alive, and it did not forgive intrusion. The man who would later become the hero of legend was no savior. Chronicles hidden in Valoria's archives depict him as a warrior obsessed with forbidden knowledge. He sought the tower not for love, but for the secrets of her slumber. He carried maps stolen from ruins in distant lands, each depicting gates, temples, and ancient devices meant to channel human consciousness. His own kingdom teetered on collapse. She was a key. By the time he reached the tower, he was willing to do anything, even destroy her. Deep inside the chamber, a spindle of blackened iron lay half buried in dust. Scholars believe it was a conduit for ritual energy. Spindles of this kind were known in lost civilizations, used to trap the vitality of young royals. When he touched it, the prince activated the mechanism that had held her for decades. But containment was delicate. Even the slightest misstep could fracture it. The princess's awakening was violent, her body convulsing under a force she had been denied for years. He had not saved her. He had triggered a catastrophe. Valoria was governed by a council of seers and warriors who believed in preserving life through pause. They saw children of the royal line as vessels for the kingdom's longevity. Every century, one would be asleep to maintain balance. The prince's ancestors had betrayed this system, leading to the girl's imprisonment. By releasing her, the prince unraveled decades of careful equilibrium. The council's secret writings warned, those who awaken the bound will inherit their ruin. The words echoed in his mind as the princess writhed. Beneath the tower lay a subterranean chamber, walls carved with twisted faces, mouths open in silent screams. Relics of Valoria's forbidden rites littered the floor, chalices of unknown metal, vials filled with black liquid, and bones etched with cryptic symbols. When the princess's scream shattered the chamber, dust fell from the ceiling, revealing carvings previously hidden. They depicted her life, her imprisonment, and a shadowy figure, almost certainly the prince, pressing her into the ground. She was not meant to rise. He had rewritten her destiny. Legend records disappearances surrounding the tower. Servants, guards, even visiting scholars were found dead or vanished entirely. Some were found with faces twisted in terror, bodies contorted unnaturally. Modern forensic studies suggest extreme stress reactions, but no cause fits entirely. One theory, exposure to the energy from Valoria's rituals, warped reality itself, bending those around her. The prince, blinded by ambition, ignored the signs. He believed himself the savior. Valoria's downfall remains a mystery. Some suggest plague. Others point to internal revolt. But new evidence shows traces of mass entombments and scorched temples, hinting at catastrophic failure during a ritual. Artifacts recovered from these ruins indicate the kingdom sought immortality through confinement of a single bloodline. The princess was just the last known vessel. When the prince entered the tower, he became part of a cycle older than history, a cycle that demanded destruction. As the princess struggled, shadows danced across the stone walls, cast by torchlight and the flicker of the ritual's residual energy. Her voice was no longer human, a mixture of rage, fear, and confusion. The prince realized the full scope of what he had done. The containment was not merely physical, it was temporal, magical in effect, but historical in origin. By rescuing her, he released centuries of suppressed power. And it hungered. Records suggest the tower's construction aligned with astrological patterns designed to focus energy during the girl's sleep. A single misalignment, a single human interference, could reverse its intended effect. The prince's presence fractured the alignment. The girl's vitality surged outward, burning through stone, metal, and flesh. Nearby chambers collapsed, and symbols etched in stone glowed briefly before blackening. It was not salvation, it was annihilation. The moment he understood the truth, the prince tried to intervene. He grabbed the spindle, swung the ceremonial dagger, whispered ancient incantations from scrolls he barely comprehended. But it was too late. The girl's body convulsed violently, energy spilling into the air like lightning striking from a cage. The prince's armor cracked under pressure, and his screams echoed through the tower. He had destroyed the girl, though history would later call him a hero. In the aftermath, Valoria's tower fell silent. The princess vanished from history, erased not by death, but by forces no one could understand. The tower crumbled, burying artifacts, inscriptions, and the truth beneath layers of rubble. Only a few whispers survived: letters, carvings, and oral traditions speaking of a prince who awakened a girl, only to bring ruin. No one alive today fully comprehends the magnitude of what occurred. Modern excavations uncover shards of the spindle, scorched walls, and skeletal remains in positions suggesting extreme struggle. Radiocarbon dating aligns with the period of fairy tale's origin. Historians try to reconcile the story, but folklore simplified the event. The princess slept. The prince saved her. They omitted the destruction, the ritual, the terror. The truth lurks beneath the surface, violent, chaotic, impossible to ignore. A wind rattles the remaining stones. Shadows stretch long across the ground. The spindle lies half-buried, waiting. The air hums faintly, a memory of energy that once consumed a kingdom, and the girl who never truly woke. No fairy tale ending exists. The prince became legend. The princess became myth. But those who study the ruins swear they hear whispers in the wind, echoes of a girl betrayed by salvation itself. Rising above the tower, over the crumbled cliff, across forests that once held Valoria, silence, but the feeling remains. Some stories, once awakened, can never be contained again. If you enjoyed this journey through the Mystery Vault, make sure to subscribe and like the channel for more mystery and history stories among us.